Maintainability depends on modularity. Maintainability depends on modularity. Maintainability. Maintainability depends on modularity. Maintainability depends on modularity. On modularity. Depends on modularity. Maintainability depends on modularity. On modularity. Maintainability depends on modularity. On modularity. On modularity. Without the on modularity, how synthesizer would be pronounced this maintainability depends on modularity.
Maintainability depends on modularity. Maintainability depends on modularity. Maintainability depends on modularity.
Now me. Maintainability depends on modularity. Maintainability depends on modularity. Modularity. This is okay. Maintainability depends on modularity. Now, first time that it is okay. Maintainability depends on modularity. Maintainability depends on modularity. On modularity.
Maintainability depends on modularity. Maintainability depends on modularity.
Yes, here it is very there is very clear. This synthesizer pronounce very clear that on maintainability depends on modularity. On modularity. There is one space bar between on modularity. But when I want to speak faster or no faster, it is I simply forget on spaces between words. Again, maintainability depends on modularity. Yeah, it is for exercise. It is important exaggerate normal pronunciation normal talking. It means that we speak very, very slow or very, very fast, faster than is normal, slower than is normal. And it is experience, it is exercise for face musculature. Okay. Maintainability depends on modularity. On modularity. Maintainability depends on modularity. Good. Stop using namespaces. Modularity is at the core of everything. Is at the core of everything. Initially, 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 initially,
Initially.
Initially, initially, initially,
initially, initially,
yeah, you hear difference. I don't see, I don't hear some difference between Cambridge dictionary pronunciation as here,
initially, initially,
initially, initially,
initially,
initially, initially, initially. This E is long and this E is short. Initially, initially, initially.
initially,
United Kingdom,
Initially. Initially.
initially,
American is always exaggerated, is pronounced longer than United Kingdom. United Kingdom pronounced shorter.
Initially. Initially.
Initially, initially,
initially,
initially,
initially,
initially,
Initially.
initially, initially,
initially,
initially. Okay. Initially, 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 I had approached this very differently, but it turned out after approximately 20 drafts that nothing else is as important as getting modularization right. Initially, I had approved this very differently, but it turned out after approximately 20 drafts, nothing else is as important as getting getting nothing else is important as getting modularization right. Getting modularization right. I had approached this very differently, but it turned out after 20 drafts that nothing else is as important as getting modularization right. Mobilization right. As getting modularization. I make a big mistake in modularization. Modularization. Now, synthesizer.
Modularization.
Must be that schwa. American, not modularization. I always forgot on that. Modularization, not modularization.
Modularization.
And modularization. I think it is modularization.
D.
Modularization. There is a schwa.
Modularization.
Here it is schwa. Modularization. Yeah. Modularization. I must modularization. Modularization.
Modularization, modularization, modulatorization, modularization.
Modularization. Modularization. Modularization. Modularization.
Modularization.
Yes, here is a very visible modularization and modularization. It is not E, it is very E, short E, and schwa is here. Modularization. Schwa is here. Modular. Here is schwa. Modularization. And then modularization. Modularization. United Kingdom.
Modularization. Modularization.
Big difference. This is American long, United
Modularization.
modularization,
modularization,
This is not same. Here is ma, but here is something between. A modularization,
modularization,
modularization, modularization, modularization, modularization,
modularization,
modularization,
modularization. In United Kingdom there is no they pronounce o, but here is something between and o. But American everywhere o pronounce modularization, clear very clear. It is because somebody say me that it is because because laziness. It is for musculature is more easy to say there is no voice up down, always one same level of voices. Modularization. It is lazy pronunciation, modularization, that with
modularization,
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 modularization. Who is not excellent ears, and it is something very, very interesting that with help of eyes I can correct my pronounce. It is interesting. Eyes help my ears and help my pronunciation. Modularization,
modularization,
modularization, modularization, modularization, modularization, modularization, modularization, modularization, modularization, yes, modularization, because modular, and it is a better result. Result is much better. Modularization, 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 modularization. Yeah. And before I connect R and Z, but I must connect L and R. Modularization, modularization, modularization. Okay, thank you for watching this video. If you like this my learning in English, you can subscribe. Click on the button down behind video, down right, or on the icon on the video down and right, and you can open possibility to receive a note about next my video. Thank you again.